What's going on, everyone? Welcome so much to the stream. Anybody that's coming in as the stream is taking place, thank you so much for spending the time. Spend with little old me. Anybody watching the stream after the stream, thanks so much again. Taking time out of your day, spend with me. What is going on, everyone? We have officially started the LeBron James camp. And it looks like, the roster is intact based on reports. Everybody that is on the roster is there. So that would include Russell Westbrook on that roster as well. He is a player on the team. But I've always reiterated that if that is the scenario and we end up stuck with Russell Westbrook, I think we'll be fine. I like our roster. I like our chances. I like our team. I like the way that everything is structured. No trade is better than a bad trade. So I'll never be upset for the Lakers, not making a foolish deal. So I am glad that they didn't, do that. I mean, look at what ended up happening with Bojan Bogdanovic, right? Or Bojan, however. He ended up getting traded for peanuts. The whole conversation was, that he would be traded for a first, and that they want a first, and it has to be for a first, and this, that, and the other. And guess what? He wasn't traded for a first. He was traded for peanuts. Let's say hi to some of the people popping in. What's going on? Appreciate you, Speedy. Think we stay in pat headed in the season. I think so too, which, again, I'm fine with. If there's no deal on the table, don't force a deal. Don't force it. If a deal's there, then do it. Look, I still believe if the Lakers find a deal, if the Pacers are willing to take like a first and a pick swap, I think a deal gets done. But chances are it's very likely we're going to go into the season with Russ, and that's fine. That's not the end of the world. I really think that this team, with the way it's currently constructed, of course, there's concerns about the wing play and the size on the outside, but I like our guard play. I like our bigs. I think we got size down low. I think we got some versatility down there. We got obviously Anthony Davis, who can do a little bit of everything. We got Thomas Bryant, who he can space the floor. He can run as that Brook Lopez style center that Darvin Ham likes to run with during these things. You get that. You get a guy, he could high energy, block shots, rebound, stuff like that. Think that's good. He could also play the 4 if need be. You could kind of switch things up, maybe play Davis at the 5, Bryant at the 4, depending on the matchup, stuff like that. Damian Jones, he's a guy that can come in, high energy, good rebounder, good shot blocker, not the best three-point shooter. I mean, based on his stats, he shoots like 33%, but he only takes like 1-3 a game, if that. So there's not a large enough sample size to know how good or bad he is from 3. But again, nonetheless, you got a center, you got some versatility. I like it. I dig it. You could always run AD at the 5 if need be. I do. I like where this team's at. I like how this team is structured. Yo, how was your day, bro? What you do today? Well, thank you. Appreciate you, Jay. I am wonderful. Nothing, just kind of worked, got some videos up. Just, a little bit of everything running around. We hit 4K subscribers today. Thank you all so very much for helping me hit 4K. I really do appreciate that. I started this channel 2 months ago, and we've already hit 4K. That's fantastic. Now we need the road to 10K. Let's get to 10K. That would be nice. That'd be awesome. Once we hit that milestone, but to hit 4K so quickly, it's amazing. Seriously, it is. It's fantastic. I'm very thankful. I'm very blessed to be in this situation. It's all because of all of you. Hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. I'm sure most, if not all of you are, or I'm going to assume that you are. But yeah, like button. Let's set a goal. We like to set goals, right? We got to at least stick to the 150 likes. 150 likes. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. All of that stuff. I really appreciate you all. And then subscriber goal. What are we at? We're at 40-14. Let's get to. Can we get to 40-50? That'd be awesome. We've gotten 36 subscribers in a live stream before. Let's make that happen. Need to trade Bubble AD at the deadline. That ain't happening. Don't like all the guards. I mean, look, I have concerns with all the guards too. I mean, it would be silly to not say that that's a glaring concern, but I think we're fine. We got some pestiness. We got some guys on the wing that have some length, that have some size. As small as Pat Bev is, he's got 6'7" wingspan. He's always played big. You got Schroeder, 6'8" wingspan, guy who's feisty. You got Walker. He's got a 6'10" wingspan. So that's good too. He's probably going to be our 3 to back up LeBron, stuff like that. I like this team. I think that, do we have holes? Absolutely. But which team doesn't have some sort of holes? I mean, all teams have a flaw. All teams have those things. I like our chances. We got LeBron James and Anthony Davis at the end of the day, and I'll take my chances with them. Danny Ainge got fleeced. I agree. It's pretty crazy that he was willing to give that up. He got nothing back. Say $5 million. I get that it took you under the tax. But even if you weren't trading him to the Lakers, you could have done the same thing with the Suns. I mean, you could if the Jazz would have said, look, we'll give you Conley, Beasley, Bogdanovich, and Jordan Clarkson for 1 first or a first and a pick swap, I think the Lakers would have done it. It was just they wanted both first round picks. And guess what? You got nothing. You got nothing. You traded your best asset, and you got 0. You didn't even get a second round pick for him. You got a bunch of guys that you have to waive. Danny Ainge painted himself into a corner. He gets what he gets. Let him figure it out. Dennis already started off on a bad note. I heard everyone was at LeBron training camp except for him. He should have been ready on time. You got to remember, he was just playing in Germany. That's not his fault. The Lakers knew what was going on. He's playing for his country. I don't think that's a bad note. What is he supposed to do? He's supposed to just stop, hey guys, sorry, we're playing to get into the Olympics and stuff. But, I got to go to this LeBron training camp. He'll be ready to go for the training camp. Not just that, he's played with LeBron. He's played with Davis. He knows what to expect. He's played with Westbrook. So the 3 guys you need to build chemistry with, he's got the chemistry. I don't think that's a bad start at all. Who do you think ends up starting? I think it's going to be very likely. It's going to be Westbrook. I think it'll be Westbrook, Beverly, LeBron, Davis, and Bryant. I think those will be the 5. I think then you have Schroeder, Kendrick Nunn, Walker, or Austin Reeves. But I think Walker will probably get the start as far as the second guy off the bench. Because not just that, but Reeves, he can kind of plug in multiple positions. He could kind of play the 1 through 3 if you need be. But Walker, and then it'll be very likely winning Gabriel, and then Damian Jones that'll round out probably our 10 guys, and then Austin Reeves will kind of plug in wherever he need be. That'll be very likely so we'll probably run 11 guys, probably have 11 guy rotation, something along those lines. Will end up being what we do, which isn't a bad thing. And I do believe that we will probably play 11 guys because I don't think he's going to want to burn out LeBron. I don't think, 80, you got Patrick Beverly, guys like that. The Bucks in the regular season like to go deep. A lot of teams, it's kind of a not new thing, but it's kind of something that a lot of these coaches do now. Like the Warriors, like Steve Kerr has done that since day one. And his whole thing is how can I expect you to be next man up, game ready if you haven't played in 3 weeks? So I'm not against it at all. I don't know much about Thomas Bryant's defense game. Do you know his defensive abilities? So he's solid. He's no slouch at all. I mean, he's not Rudy Gobert defensively, but he can block shots. I think he averages 1.5 blocks a game, something like that off the top of my head. So he's definitely a guy that can give you some help on the defense and block shots, give you some offensive versatility. He's got some lateral movement. I mean, you don't want him guard and point guards and stuff, but he is a guy that can shift a little bit, things like that. So what's going on, Smooth? Appreciate you being here. What is up? What is up? Nike, what is up? What's going on, Mark? Appreciate you being here. What is good? What is good? Congratulations. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you all. Seriously. You guys are all so awesome. Obviously I wouldn't be at 4K if it wasn't for you guys. So I'm very thankful, very blessed to be in this position. What else? Like and subscribe, peeps. Yes, absolutely, Speedy. Let's hit that like button. Let's try to get to 150 likes on this video. It'd be awesome. You have no idea the power of the like button. Like button really does help get more people into the stream, and it gets people to watch this even after the stream because they see a bunch of likes and they're like, "Oh, people like this video." So it'd really help me out if you do that. And then of course subscribe. Let's try to reach. The next goal is 10K. Let's get to 10K. That'd be fantastic. So like and subscribe. You guys are awesome. And you think we would do a trade on the weekend? Look, I think if a trade were to materialize that the Lakers really liked, yes, they would do a trade. Is it going to happen? Probably not. I don't like to say no. You see other people in the comments and you see other people say, I guarantee, or there's no way, 0% chance. Like, unless you're you have no idea what Rob is doing right now, unless he's like your cousin or something and he's actually personally told you, like, you have no idea. We're all guessing. So I don't like to say I don't, that it's not going to happen, but very likely the probability of them getting a deal done and they haven't already, I think is very slim. Now, if for whatever reason, if like the Utah Jazz are like, hey, we'll give you Beasley, Clarkson, and Conley, and, we just want to unload them. We'll do it for a pick swap, because I don't want to just cut these guys. So here, help us out, take Conley, and we get to keep, the picks. I'm not saying that this would happen before everyone's in the chat. Like, there's no way the Jazz do that. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just using it as an example. Let's say there is some ridiculous deal that, the Jazz are like, we just want to unload these guys. We'll give you these guys. Give us a pick swap in, 2 seconds or something like that. I think the Lakers would do it. I think if a deal is there, the Lakers are going to take it. Lakers are not going to not take a deal just because, whatever. At any point, if there's a really good deal, I think they do it. Now, if Russ starts the season, I don't think he gets traded personally, because I think either two things are going to happen. Either the Lakers are going to be good, and if they're good, you're not going to want to break up that chemistry unless it's for like a superstar. Nets implode and Kyrie becomes available. Unless that happens, I don't think they're going to trade Russ, because if you're good, you probably don't want to break up the chemistry. You probably want to get into the playoffs and see what happens. If you're not good, at that point, it's like, what are you going to get that's all of a sudden going to make you good? And it's just like, maybe if they're like kind of like, say they're a game in sixth, and they're a game ahead of the 7th place team and they want to kind of not make the play in, and they, there's a deal that can do it. Maybe. I think if we start the season, it's very, very probable that Westbrook's going to play the whole year. Because at that point, you might as well just keep your picks, keep your cap space, and see what else develops, see what else is out there. I need to get up with you, my man. Yeah, definitely. Shout outs to you. I appreciate you. Get the likes up. Yes, hit that like button. Let's hit those likes. Let's get this party going. Really does help me out. I really do appreciate it. What are we at? We're at 37 likes and there's 112 people in the stream. That is pathetic. Hit that like button. Come on. That means there's at least, I should have at least 114 likes because there's 114 of you. I'm tired of this. Why are Lakers always getting ripped off? If I was in charge of the NBA, I would make a rule where you can't rip teams off. You got to be fair, and that's not right. That's just hate. Well, I mean, the Lakers didn't get ripped off. They didn't do a deal. But also beyond that, like the problem is that's perspective. Like you see deals all the time where it looks like a team gets ripped off, but they get like, they end up getting the number 1 pick or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you never really know. It's just, it's hard. And then there's certain situations where it's the best deal on the table, things like that. So just something to keep in mind. I just like the video. And also I've been subscribed since day 1, and also congrats on 4K subscribers at Stance Laker. Thank you, Marquise. Yes, I do. I recognize you. I appreciate you. You've been awesome over on As It Stands. And then you came over here when I started this channel. And I do. I thank you. I thank you. I thank all of you. All of you are so awesome. Also, another little quick plug. So this Monday, I started that. I rebranded an old channel. It's called as AIS The Lake Show, for as it stands, just abbreviated. AIS The Lake Show. I have a link in the description of this video. This Monday, me and a buddy of mine, we're going to start a Lakers podcast over on that channel because I figured I have this channel, might as well do something with it. So that's what we're going to do. I rebranded it. Right now, it is just like re-uploads from this channel just because I'm trying to keep YouTube's algorithm happy and like fed. So once we actually start the podcast, like we actually get some viewership, YouTube starts pushing it out, stuff like that. So, those videos on there, if you don't want to watch them, it's fine. Don't. But I'd appreciate you subscribing because starting Monday, we're going to get new content. We'll do the live stream and then he's going to handle the clips and stuff and upload, little clips and stuff on that channel. So you have fresh content from me, buddy of mine, as we break down, analyze the Lakers, all that stuff. Again, links in the description of this video. Subscribe to that. Subscribe to As It Stands, like the kind of, I guess, mother channel, home channel. And then, of course, here. What's going on, Jay? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. F. Danny Ainge, I feel it, Rich. I feel it. But, hey, you know what? The only thing he hurt is his team and himself. He just made his job harder and just hurt the Utah Jazz. So, we'll take it. We need Winning Gabriel to help guard players like KD and Giannis. I think Winning Gabriel is going to be big for us this year. We didn't have much of a sample size with him, but I do think that, I assume he's worked and improved on his three-point shooting because that was like the only thing the Lakers told him to do. So I imagine that, he did work on it. And then, so if he could play, he's got good size, 6'9", high energy, athletic. If he could play the 3 and 4 spot, if we could interchange him, especially against like the bigger guards, like you said, KD, the Giannis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, those guys, that would be beautiful. That would be absolutely gorgeous. Dude, you've been pumping out content, killing it. Thank you so much, Millions. I really appreciate it. Hey, look, YouTube is very particular about being consistent. When it comes to content, pumping out content, stuff like that. I want to be a fixture. I'm willing to work hard. It takes, it's a lot of work to reach, the heights that I want to get to, and I'm willing to put the work in. And hopefully one day I can kind of be a fixture in the sports community and the Lakers community and stuff like that. That's the goal. That's the hope. Braun, Davis, Bev, Walker, Schroeder. Hey, it's not, I could see lineups like that. I do believe Darvin Ham is going to test various lineups, do various things, stuff like that. I definitely do. I don't know if you want to speak on the situation, but if so, what do you think about the Ime Udoka situation? The only problem is like we don't really know all of the ins and outs. So on As It Stands, I kind of did do a video. Look, obviously he did something because they did an investigation and he just accepted the 1-year suspension. So clearly there was something there. We're still seeing more information put out. Look, at the end of the day, whatever it was, whether it was consensual, whatever, I don't know what's happening. I wasn't there. I can't really speak on that. But a couple things that I will hit on is one, he is a leader. He is somebody that is supposed to be setting the example. He's the one that is supposed to be building the culture. He is the one that's supposed to be the confidant for the organization as the head coach, and he failed. He failed that, whatever it was, he knew what he was doing. He knew that there were consequences. He knew the rules. Look, whether you work at McDonald's or you're the head coach of the Boston Celtics, there's always like the fraternization rules and stuff, especially when you're a manager or a position of power or stuff like that. And it's to prevent people from, abusing that power. Again, I don't know what happened. It seems like this is still a developing story. You hear new information regularly, but at the end of the day, he did something that he knew he shouldn't have done, and, whether he's married or not, I've had comments of people trying to defend it. Well, he's not married, he's engaged. Like, cheating is wrong regardless. Oh, well, people cheat all the time. Like, so because everybody cheats, it's okay? Like, no, it's not. It's not how it works. Not everybody cheats. Not everything is okay. He had everything. He had a beautiful woman in Elon. He had a great job that many people would dream and kill for. He was in a position and he made a decision. He's got to live with the consequences. Whatever, whatever those consequences turn out to be, whatever it is he turned out doing, obviously the Celtics feel a 1-year suspension is worth it. So, it is what it is. He shouldn't have done what he did. We all have to follow rules. We all have to live in certain parameters. He broke the rules. That's what he gets. So that lineup is too small. Oh yeah, the one above. Thomas Bryant can also shoot threes. Yes, absolutely, he can absolutely shoot threes. And that is going to be huge for this team. Huge for this team. So, even if they're keeping Westbrook for now, they should have at least traded Nunn for a bigger wing like Reddish at the start of the season. Westbrook, Beverly, Schroeder, Walker, Nunn. One of those guys has to sit. I mean, yes and no. Very likely what is going to happen is you're going to have, Westbrook and Beverly, and then you're going to have Schroeder and Nunn. Those are going to be your guard play, your 1 and 2 guard plays. Beverly, Schroeder and Westbrook both are similar, and they're the ball handlers, they're the slashing guards, stuff like that. And then you have Patrick Beverly, Kendrick Nunn, who could both play off the ball, on the ball, whatever need be. They both have shot 38%. So you get that shooting from both of them. You get the defensive sides from both. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. And then you're going to have Reeves and Walker fill in for LeBron and play the 3 spot. Is very likely what will happen. Will the Lakers win it all? I don't know about that. Look, if the Lakers get into the playoffs and everyone's healthy, everything's clicking, we're looking good. Westbrook's figured it out. I like her chances. But I would be lying if I said, yeah, like they're a contender. And that's one thing that I won't do. I understand the situation we're in. I understand where we're at as far as this team goes. And, as much as I want this team to be a contender, a lot's got to be worked out. I think this team could be very good. I don't fear any team in the Western Conference besides maybe the Warriors and the Clippers. Clippers, if we make it to the second round, we might not even have to face them. Or if we do, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George might not even be there. So we might be good there. Warriors are the Warriors, but I like our size. I like what we got going on. So, yeah. Do you know the Lakers actually offered a first-round pick for Bojan? I know the Jazz wanted a first. Honestly, I feel the Lakers didn't offer one, which they shouldn't have. So, I mean, obviously we don't know for sure. We only know what's been put out there. But the Lakers didn't want to give up both firsts, and they wanted Bojan based on the closest thing that we have to what the negotiations were the Lakers wanted Vanderbilt. They were willing to give up one first for Vanderbilt, Beasley, and Bogdanovich, and then whatever other negotiations were there. There was talks about Conley, Beasley, and Bogdanovich. Maybe they were willing to give up first there. The Lakers, depending on what the players they were getting back from, based on everything I've seen, they would have given up a first. They just didn't want to give up both firsts. So obviously the Jazz didn't think that Bogdanovich, Beasley, and Clarkson or Conley or whoever were worth one first. I wasted my time and energy last season. I'm not supporting this team as long as Westbrook is on the roster, unless I get a refund of my money for watching him shoot hairballs bricks last season. Hey, look, we've lived through the Smush Parker days. We lived through, that 6 years or whatever it was where we were just atrocious. Like, I like this. I'm riding the team. I'm do or die with the Lakers. If the Lakers are the worst team in the West, I'm rooting for them. I'm cheering. I'm watching as many games as I physically can. I'm there. I understand people don't want to, but I'm just not that way. like I said, I bleed purple and gold. At this stage of his career, Westbrook is very easy to guard. Just back off, let him shoot. He has to come off the bench, send some D. It depends on the sets that you're running. Like, so for example, like what like Houston did. Houston had they really struggled early on, but then they figured out that like if you can have Westbrook as a cutter, he is such a great cutter, screen setter and cutter. If they can operate him on like the high pick and rolls, stuff like that, he could be very effective for this team. It's going to come down to how does Darvin Ham put pen to paper, so to speak. How does he kind of figure this whole thing out? And what are the play schemes? How are they having them? So it just depends on how, like, what sets Darvin Ham runs, how he utilizes Westbrook, and what Westbrook is willing to buy into. Westbrook's $47 million contract makes it hard to improve our roster. It does. It absolutely does. It does, definitely. So when did Dennis, that was CP3 and the Thunder, was I wrong about that? Haven't they played together before? Didn't they play the first before the whole trading situation happened? Yeah, they were on the same team together. What are you talking about? See, look, I knew I wasn't wrong. Yeah, they literally played together. Yeah. See, what are you talking about? Come on, bro. CP3 did play with Schroeder, but so did Russell Westbrook. See, look, come on, Frank. At least look it up. If you're going to try to call me out, don't be wrong, because then you'll just look goofy in front of 163 people. Lakers offered a pick and a swap, but they wanted Boyan plus Beasley plus Vanderbilt. Yeah. People are sleeping on this man. Bron and AD, healthy alone is contention. Still the best 1-2 punch in the league. Westbrook will have a better season, knowing that if he doesn't, his career is over. Look, I have said, and I still believe this, if we had the team that we had right now, and we just added Russell Westbrook, or sorry, not Russell Westbrook, just added LeBron James and Anthony Davis, people would be talking about us being the favorites to win the NBA. Like, that's just what it is. The problem is that we have the hangover from, the LeBron AD experiment, all of that stuff. It's one of those things. I just think, look, I think this Lakers team has the potential to be very good. It just depends on, again, culture, chemistry, play style, things like that. There's a lot that goes into it. But if it does, I think it'll be really good. So the Lakers didn't offer first for Boyan, which is what I was thinking. They couldn't trade just for Boyan regardless. Like because Kendrick, he makes too much money. So they didn't have a way to trade just for Boyan. So even if the Lakers just wanted to get Bogdanovich, they didn't have a way to do it. Because even if you trade Kendrick Nunn and Winning Gabriel, that's not you don't clear the threshold that you need to make that happen. So no matter what, they wouldn't have been able to just get Boyan unless like there was like some 3-team deal, like maybe the Spurs, but then you got to give a first to the Spurs to absorb the salary, stuff like that. So as expensive as those tickets, our fans deserve a better product to be put on the floor. They were counting on LeBron James on roster Celtics. Problem is, Camille, is like, what could they have put on the floor this year? This was a terrible free agency class. The Lakers can't just do a trade just to do a trade. You can't just do a terrible deal, because you could be like, do we remember the Luol Deng and Timothy Mozgov? We just finished paying Luol Deng. That was the product of like trying to stay relevant just to stay relevant, and making a move just to make a move, rather than being patient, being reserved, doing what you need to do. So that's my thing. Like I what else could they have put out there? There wasn't any trade. Kyrie was only getting traded if Kevin Durant ended up leaving. It's just, no matter how you shake it, the Lakers didn't have very many options, If the Lakers cap situation stays as is, who do you think they're targeting next summer? I think the number one target is Kyrie. I think they believe Kyrie's coming one way or another, and they'll end up renouncing and trading away this year's pick and doing all that stuff to do whatever it takes to free up for Kyrie or working out a sign and trade or whatever. If Kyrie wants to come to the Lakers will end up getting Kyrie. Now, what outside of Kyrie, there's not really any big names. James Harden maybe, but I don't think he leaves Philly. And then after that, it's just mid-tier guys. So I think I could see like a Gary Trent. I could see like, maybe go get Miles Turner, Bojan Bogdanovic, guys like that. Like I think a lot of the guys that they targeted, they'll try to see if they can get them on reasonable deals, try to get like 3 or 4 guys to fit into, the 30 million plus that they could get. They could work it out. But the problem is there's not really a ton of big names next season either. There was a report today that said only one team offered the Jazz a first for Bojan, but they also wanted the Jazz to take on non-expiring deals, which means it wasn't the Lakers who offered it. Yeah, I mean, look, the only way that they were going to get a first for any of these guys was to take on some salary. Like the example I kept using, like, look, if the Jazz would have taken, like a team like Miami, they would have gladly said, take Duncan Robinson in a first, and we'll take Clarkson and Bogdanovich. Like they would have done that gladly, or Beasley and like whatever, or Rudy Gay, and whatever they could have get just to move off of Duncan Robinson's contract. But for Utah, that makes no sense. Like, yeah, you're doing a 2-for-1 swap, stuff like that. Yeah, you're getting a first, but you don't want the long-term salary. So, and that was my whole argument this entire time, this whole process. Like, they're not going to take on long-term salary, so they're never going to get a first-round pick from any team. And so that's the thing. What has the Lakers done with picks that makes them so valuable? They have absolutely killed. Their department has been amazing. I mean, they've gotten all kinds of stuff from, Kyle Kuzma to Brandon Ingram. Like, they've done really good. We just didn't hold on to them long enough to allow them to develop. We ended up trading them away. But it's not even about trading the pick. Like, look, they would have traded the picks. It's just, why would you trade picks to just basically, so right now, let's say right now the Lakers are a 6th seed or a 7th seed, right? Let's say they're a 7th seed. Let's say you do the Jazz deal and you give up both first. You go from a 7th seed to maybe a 6th seed or a 5 seed. Like, you're still not a contender. You're still in a bad slot. Like, it's just, no matter how you shake it, you're not looking good. And that's the thing. That's the problem, is that like none of the deals we had made it worth it. So like, why not just wait and see? Like, just using this as an example, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's say the Wizards are terrible, right? Let's say they're not very good. They're struggling. And Bradley Beal's like, look, I got my money. I can be traded now. I want out, and he wants to go to the Lakers. But the Lakers traded both first-round picks for Bogdanovich, Conley, and, Beasley. And we could have gotten that third guy, Bradley Beal, who would have been great, locked in, multi-year, that kind of thing. Again, not saying that would happen. I'm just saying, using an example. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You don't know what else could potentially be out there, especially in a player movement type league where players want out constantly, or, next season. Let's say Kyrie does want to come to the Lakers, and let's say they don't have the cap space to work it out. Well, now you could do a sign and trade, or you could figure it out. There's ways to go about it. Like, that's the thing. It's not about, the picks are so valuable, this, that, and the other. It's about just you putting yourself in a position, if there's no deal, to be in a position so when there is a deal, you're in a position to take said deal. Does that make sense? I don't want to watch Russ play again. That was a rough season. Rather watch paint dry than go all in. Either trade him or send him like John. You can't sit him. The Lakers aren't good enough for one. They don't have the money for two. And you got to at least try. You got to at least try to see what you can create, what can develop, things like that, because you never really know. I don't get what the problem is if it was all consensual, because it's a person in power. It's a rule that they have. All jobs have that rule. If you've ever worked as a manager at any company, they all don't want you messing with the employees because it causes drama, it causes conflict, it causes issues, it causes all kinds of stuff. Besides that, I mean, the whole moral thing, he has a girl, he has a fiance, stuff like that. It's just a bad look for the Celtics. You got to remember, it's a business. And they don't want their head coach, abusing his power. There's reports coming out that he was, being sexually passive to multiple women and stuff like that, and just making people feel uncomfortable. You don't want that, like just because one was consensual doesn't mean they all were. Things like that. It's a weird position. And the thing is, we don't know all the information. We don't know all the details. So it's hard to really say anything. But the reality is that, like, he knew the rules and he broke the rules. Like if you broke the rules at your job, you'd probably be fired. He's lucky he didn't get fired. He's lucky that he only just got a year suspension. It's a situation that's it's one of those things. Do you listen to rap? If so, what do you like? I am an MC guy. Rakim, KRS-One, Jedi Mind Tricks, guys like that. Don't listen to new rap. I'm not a big fan of new rap, new hip hop, stuff like that. I like Helta Skelta, which, unless you're like a big hip hop head, you've probably never heard of them. De La Soul, guys like that. I'm a big MC fan, more than rap. Even LL Cool J, the Fresh Prince, give me some of that. Lakers out for Jazz, not once, but at least twice, and we're rejected. Yeah. Let's go Lakers. Facts, keeping it real. Facts. Let's go Lakers. Just sub to your new channel. Thank you so much. And I like this stream. Thank you. I'm hoping one day you can invite people in on a panel to discuss. You're the only live streamer that answers everyone's comments. Keep it going. Thank you. I appreciate it, Rich. I know the thing is too, is that I know a lot of, I do try to go in it, and to be fair, I do understand why most don't. One, if you make it to where you're only answering super chat questions, guess what? I probably get more super chats. And the idea to be a YouTuber is to make money, right? So, if I opened it to where I just answered super chat questions, then I'm probably going to get more super chats than I do. Like this whole stream, I haven't gotten a super chat. Not that I'm saying you have to give me one, not that anything. I'm just using it, just expressing why other streamers do that, because we make our money off of super chats. Like this stream, you don't get paid for these streams until after it posts and then whatever views. So I could have 100,000 views in this live stream, and if I don't get any super chats, I basically just, however much time I spent in this live stream, I did this for free. But I do this to connect and grow, and I find other benefits beyond that. I'm not doing it for the money. Obviously, if I get to a certain point, because that's the other thing you got to keep in mind, when you reach a certain point, it kind of becomes nothing but super chats. So if I have 100,000 subscribers and I'm getting, 100 super chats a live stream, then I'm probably not going to be in a position to be able to answer everyone's questions, whether you give a super chat or not, because there's just too many people. It's just too impossible. Right now, I'm small enough to where I can, and I do enjoy this, and I do like this, but I do understand the other side of like I said, only answering super chats, things like that. Because one, it gives people an incentive to give super chats and stuff like that. And two, when you get to a certain size, like say Lakers Nation, like he gets so many super chats, all he can do is answer super chats because, those people are actually paying for your acknowledgement to answer your questions, to skip the line, stuff like that. So that's a big thing about that too. Secondly, thank you so much for, liking this stream. And yes, if you haven't liked this stream, hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot. You have no idea how much it helps this channel and, after this stream to really get this pushed out. Because like I said, I don't get anything until the stream posts and it's live, and then people can watch it after on the replay. So hit that like button. It really helps out there. Subscribe to this channel. We hit 4K today, which is an absolute blessing. I really do appreciate that. So subscribe to this channel. And then quick little plug, what Rich is talking about, sub to your new channel. Starting Monday, link in the description of this live stream. It's AIS, the Lakers show. This Monday, I will be posting a new live stream. like podcast thing with me and one of my friends. Going to be trying to just be creative. I rebranded an old channel to do a Laker show because why not? I wasn't doing anything with the channel. Might as well do something with it. And also, he'll be posting clips and stuff. Right now, all of the content on there is just re-uploads from this channel. So that's what's there. If you want to watch that stuff, I'd appreciate it. It really helps with the algorithm. I'm just trying to keep the algorithm knowing what kind of channel it is because it was rebranded. So basically all the YouTube behind the scenes stuff. So don't go there and be like, I've already seen all these videos. Yeah, that's why. So anyway, I'd appreciate your support. If you subscribe to this channel, subscribe to that channel. Also, my mother channel, as it stands, my first channel I started in the sports space. Go subscribe there. Links to everything are in the description. But anyway, moving on. I know Reddish is probably only worth a couple seconds picks right now, but would you use a first round pick on him so we could finally have a 3-and-D win? I wouldn't. There's just too many concerns with it. You know, I am high on Reddish. I am higher on Reddish than most people, but there's a lot of unknowns, a lot of concerns. You know, and I'm not even talking about his basketball play. I'm talking about just his work ethic, locker room, stuff like that. It's a big concern. The other stuff is like on the court, like how much is he going to show up? How much is he going to deliver? Is he going to show up in the playoffs? Stuff like that. I don't think he's worth a first. I don't like, especially one of those first. I think you could get more value for those firsts eventually. It's just staying patient. But I mean, if we could get Reddish, if we could trade, as much as I don't want to get rid of Kendrick Nunn, if we could get Kendrick Nunn and 2 seconds for, you know, Cam Reddish, I would jump all over that. Genie Bus and Darvin Ham want to keep Westbrook on the team, period. He will be a starter because Ham been capping on him for him all summer. Now, I mean, what is he supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really knock Darvin Ham for that. Like, a lot of people have kind of gotten on his helmet about, like, you know, you know, like he's really hyping up Russ, da da da. Like, what is he supposed to say? Russ is trash and I don't want him on the team. Like, you need him to buy it. You need him to give 110%. You know, you need him to be that guy that can, you know, that'll run through a brick wall for you and stuff, you know. And if you start ruining that relationship, that's what ended up happening with, you know, that's what ended up happening with Frank Vogel. Him and Frank Vogel's relationship was terrible, and Russ just didn't want to listen to him. So that's the thing. You got to kind of save face, so to speak. You got to do what you can do to kind of keep Russ bought in, keep Russ engaged, keep Russ giving, you know, 100%. Lakers had several good trade options, just went cheap. Thinking West and Pat will work. We'll see, but it's all about the picture. I don't really think the Lakers went cheap. I think the Lakers were smart. I do. I just don't think any of the deals other than the Kyrie deal was worth the first. That's crazy how Danny Ainge said he wanted a pick for Boggy, but he didn't get one, but wanted a pick from us. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, look, if he could have fleeced the Lakers, he would have absolutely fleeced the Lakers. You know, it's just, that's the whole thing. It's just, you gotta, I am glad Rob made the right decision. I'm glad that he stood pat. None of these deals were worth 2 seconds. Or 2 firsts. You don't give up those firsts just to give up those firsts and make fans happy. Because here's the thing. All the people that are right now saying Lakers should have given up both firsts, this, that, and the other, if the Lakers still sucked, they all would have been like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. Look, the team's still terrible, this, that, and the other. Like, write it out. It's better to be bad for 1 year. I don't think they're going to be bad. But let's say worst case scenario, they are bad. It's better to be bad 1 year than bad several years. So I'm glad that they stood pat. But, you know, as far as like, you know, Danny Ainge, look, he fleeced himself. He would have gotten some, even the Suns, even if he didn't trade with us, like, even if he just traded with the Suns, he probably would have gotten a better deal than that. Even a second, you couldn't have gotten anything, nothing. So yeah, it's just silly. Okay, Mr. Know-It-All Basketball, do you want them to put you as the basketball logo or something? I don't understand. What are you talking to me? I have no idea what you're talking about. Who should start at point guard? I don't want Westbrook as a starter. Westbrook's going to start. If it wasn't Westbrook, then you start Schroeder, but Westbrook's going to be the starter. But Ainge might call Rob probably because he's still as players to unload. I mean, possibly, but I mean, at that point, you know, you're not giving like if I was Rob, I'd be like, you ain't getting no picks. Like, you ain't getting nothing. I'll give you a couple seconds. You know, like we wanted to do the deal because we wanted Bogdanovich. We don't want all these other guys. You know, Beasley be nice, and you're giving me Vanderbilt. We're talking about Vanderbilt now too. Like, I'm not trading you guys, just trade you guys. Congrats to 4K King. Thank you, Fish Boy. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's so awesome to hit that so quickly. Like I said, started this channel 2 months ago, and we're here. It's amazing. It really is. It's amazing. What else we got? Rich, I get that. Bro. We hot better on defense for sure. Yeah, I got there we go. Definitely got better. I agree. I think we're going to be pretty good defensively. You know, we got young guys. We got guys that are willing to buy in. We got guys with athleticism. We got guys with length. Again, wing depth is a real issue. I am worried about that, but I think we'll be all right. Russ, Nunn, Braun, AD, and Bryant. I wouldn't be against that either. You know, if Nunn started, I wouldn't be upset with that. Dennis, Bev, Reeves, JTA, and Jones. Not terrible. I'm not against that at all. They still need a win. Absolutely. But there's not really many options out there, you know? That's the problem. You know, Walker at least has a 6'10" wingspan, so he's got some length to him. So he's probably going to be the backup. But yeah, we could use another like just body wing, you know, somebody with some size. Just like the Nets with Durant, I don't think the Lakers front office actually negotiated to make a trade. They have a set plan, which may just be going after Kyrie and are okay not competing. I mean, I think that they want to go get Kyrie Irving, absolutely. But I think if a deal was on the table, they would have done it. You know, I don't think, you know, if you could have done, if the Pacers came to the Lakers right now and were like, look, we'll give you both of these guys for a first round pick, I think the Lakers do it. I just think they don't want to give up both first. And every single team wants both first. And no team was willing to budge. Technically, yes. Assuming that they would want to trade him. But yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be able to get Bogdanovich straight up, but we could get like Bogdanovich, Alec Burke, and then like for salary purposes, like Nerlens Noel and Kemba Walker, and then the Lakers just waive Walker and Noel, and then there's your thing. Lakers have drafted well the last 10 years. The worst pick, I think, was Mo Wagner. This notion that Lakers can't draft. Exactly. Lakers have been fantastic at drafting. They've done a really good job. What else? Pistons will trade Bowen if they suck, and that may happen again. So hope pick up Bowen. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be like if a deal comes along, I think they'd trade him immediately. I think it just depends on, you know, what teams are offering. Look, you can't trade for worse than what you got him for. So I mean, even if you get a couple seconds, you got a good deal. I wouldn't be shocked if Detroit ends up trading him. I don't think they will. I think they'll at least try to go in with him. But I wouldn't be shocked if a deal came along. There's nothing Lakers can do at this point. I mean, there's always something you could do, but yes, I do understand your notion. I'm not even a Laker fan. I've been a huge LeBron fan for a long time. That's why I like the Lakers at the moment. I can understand that. There are a lot of people that are just LeBron fans. Nonetheless, I appreciate you being in the stream. I appreciate you being subscribed, all of that stuff. Would I love team no matter what the record is? I'm 100% true Laker fan. I mean, come on, I'm a Bears fan, and I still love it. Hey, I don't knock it at all. I don't knock it at all. Yeah, like I said, whether the Lakers could be, 82-0 or 0-82, like either way, I'm 100% with the team. I'm riding with him. How about Cole Swider? Do you think he's a potential 3-and-D guy? The D needs to definitely improve. He's definitely allergic to the D right now. I mean, he was terrible in Summer League. But from a three-point perspective, like as much as I would love Melo to come back, I think it makes more sense to give Swider a shot. The only real argument I see with bringing Melo is that like he's a guy that's hit big shots in big moments, and you could really use him, come playoff time, stuff like that. But I think you got to give Swider the nod. I think you bring him on. He shot 53% in Summer League. Not saying he's going to shoot 53%, but can he shoot 38%? Which is a huge drop off. He's going to get probably a lot of the similar looks that he got in Summer League just because you have LeBron James, Westbrook, Anthony Davis drawing the attention, putting him in position to be successful. Like, so if he can, just shoot like 37 to 38%, then that's perfect. Then I think you bring him in. He's got some size at 6'9". Hopefully you can work on it defensively. Can't be much worse than Melo was last year. I mean, Melo had his worst defensive year of his career last year. So that's the thing. Cole Swider is Duncan Robinson with worst defense. Yeah. I mean, as of right now, yeah, I think that's a good comparison. As it stands, this roster mirrors 2020 roster. You think they should bring in someone like Lamb or just give Cole a shot? I absolutely believe that they are very mirrored to the 2020 team. I mean, I've done an entire video breakdown comparing that team and all that stuff. So, yes, I do agree with that. I would rather them give Cole a shot. I mean, Jeremy Lamb, they worked him out. Obviously, they didn't like what they saw. Otherwise, they would have, given him a shot. There's a reason that teams haven't signed him. I don't think it'd be terrible, but I think at this point, there's nobody really worth bringing in that can really like change your issue you have. I think you give Swider a shot because he could fix your shooting problem. So you could fix one of your problems and it doesn't cost you anything. You already got him. Lakers should sign Westbrook to Supermax extension. Sure. Max Christie can also potentially be a 3-and-D. He already possesses above average defense. He can develop into a 3-point shot. Then he can be another 3-and-D guy. Look, he was great defensively during Summer League. I mean, it's obviously, again, not the same thing as on the other side, but he has a real instinct. And you saw that. If you actually watched him play, you saw he has a legit instinct. He has a good feel for the ball. He's great on closeouts. Like he was fantastic at kind of getting to that closeout point and recovering, stuff like that. So he definitely has the potential to be a above average defender. It's just a 3-point shot. But he wasn't like, if you watched him play, he played like a guy that was trying to earn a roster spot. And I think if he could just calm down and kind of like just get in the flow of things, I actually think he could get some minutes this season. Because he's got some size, he's got some intangibles. Again, was very solid defensively. And his shooting was awful. But if you watch, he forced a lot of shots. He rushed a lot of shots. He never really let himself get planted. Even when he was, it seemed like he was a guy that was trying to make the roster, like just by the way he played, rather than a guy that realizes, look, I'm on this roster no matter what. Let me loosen up. Let me, get the spot. Let me, play some solid defense, stuff like that, I am sure as a hurricane destroying Florida next week. What? You talk about football, college football? No way from what happened this delusional organization kept Westbrook. What else? What were the other options? Letting Russ play will ruin the chemistry that could be developed before the trade happens, especially if he gets 30-plus minutes a game, take away minutes from Walker Reed. I mean, that's assuming that he gets traded, which if they start the season with him, he's on this roster for the long haul. He ain't going nowhere. I think you gotta play him. You gotta let him go. Hopefully, you can build chemistry with him. Think sports is just a guessing game, like just throwing out rosters and be like, who knows? Why are we playing GMs, analyst scouts for then? I mean, it is a guessing game. I mean, we're all guessing. We're all hoping certain things happen. We're all, breaking down analysis, stuff like that. I'm a big statistics guy. I always try to use numbers and stuff to try to like back up arguments and things like that. But at the end of the day, like none of us are in the office. None of us are with an organization. None of us know what is going on. It is a guessing game. I love your content and your videos. When you talk, it doesn't sound boring like some NBA YouTubers. I want to use images of players or highlight your voice is interesting. Well, thank you so much. I try to add a little umph. Plus I'm just very passionate when I talk about stuff in the Lakers and things like that. So, I'm sure that translates well. As I grow the channel and stuff like that, I do want to, expand and do more things. I want to do more videos with just like me talking in it. But like certain stuff I feel is like just better to see like certain visuals. But look, I still brand new. I started this channel, like I said, 2 months ago, little over, and I'm still navigating, still trying to figure this out, still growing, still trying to, develop this channel. Yeah, technically nothing is for certain, but it's highly, highly unlikely, which is damn near the same thing. I mean, yeah, I guess. Depends on how you look at it. What's good? I support. Go supporter. Go Lakers. How's it going? What's going on, Lorenzo? I appreciate you. It is going great. It is going wonderful. I really appreciate y'all being here. Today we hit our first milestone of 4K. Now it's just getting to 10K. That's the goal. So subscribe. Help me get to 10K. Don't forget to like this video. Let's actually do an update. We haven't done an update in a while. Let's see if we had a subscriber goal of 150. We're only halfway there. We only got 74 likes, and there's 155 people. We could hit the like goal right this second. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. And then subscribers, we're at 4021. So I wanted 40, 50. We're 29 subscribers away. So you could make the subscriber and the like goal hit right now because there's 155 of you. So hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. Really appreciate it. And subscribe to my Lakers podcast that's starting tomorrow. Link in the description. AIS, or not tomorrow, Monday. Sorry. Today's Friday. Monday. Subscribe to that channel. As it stands, the Lakers show, Monday. We're going to be doing a podcast over there. Me and a buddy of mine. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be cool. It'll be great. Live stream show, all of that stuff. People who understand sports don't need to waste a season to know this team isn't winning the championship, and LeBron James' team isn't just trying to make playoffs. I mean, this team isn't making – I don't think that they're winning a championship either, but that doesn't mean they can't be good. Is it championship or bust? Absolutely, of course. But what were we going to do to get us a championship? Like what like the thing that I think is funny is like people always have like the question or like the Lakers are like, but they never give like what was the solution? What were they supposed to do? I can't tell you how many comments I get of people that are like, the Lakers suck and the Lakers this and the Lakers that. And it's like, what could they have done? Like, what is your suggestion? It's like everybody they could have gotten this free agency, they got. And this wasn't a good free agency. Like they got everybody they could have gotten. So who were they supposed to get in free agency? Kyrie was only getting traded if Kevin Durant left, which Kevin Durant didn't leave. So there goes the Kyrie trade. And it's like, after that, it's like, what else are we supposed to do? Like, who else would we gotten that's going to make us a contender, or guarantee us a championship or whatever? Nothing's guaranteed, especially in the game of basketball. If that's your ceiling, then you are not maximizing your star players. If you're not doing that, then what's the point of having LeBron James and Anthony Davis? So what? They're supposed to just trade LeBron James and Anthony Davis? Again, what is your solution? What could they have done? Keep up your content. I like your content. Thank you so much, Lorenzo. I appreciate you. Russ needs to come off the bench. I think they start him. I personally think, I don't know this for certain, but I think Darvin Ham probably plays him as a six man. I think he starts him like for his ego and then kind of like operates him the rest of the way without LeBron. Like they'll just kind of interchange. And then if he's good, you let him close out the game. But I think they at least try him as the starter, see if they can make it work, see if they can work it out, and then kind of pivot and change things from there, would be my guess. Markieff Morris, he already signed somewhere. Something will come to the Lakers if they stay patient, like buyout market or a Miles Bridges. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's going to stay away from Miles Bridges, but yeah, I mean, you got to stay patient at this point. See what develops. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring. You never know what's going to happen. For all we know, there could be a trade right around the corner. What's good, bro? What's going on, Lake Show Proco? I appreciate you. What is up? What is up? I am familiar with Benny the Butcher. Absolutely. What's going on, King? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, the stream is starting to grow. Thank you. Yes, yes. And like button, I'm telling you, like buttons help get people to continue to subscribe and like. So, or watch the video, stuff like that. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. One day we will be too small, JK, grow the pod. Yeah. I mean, look, that's the goal. I'd be lying to you if I said one day, like the goal isn't to get this to 100 subscribers, stuff like that. I mean, there's always ways I could figure it out. There's always ways I could kind of, maybe we'll do like a stream where it's just like, I don't think you could turn off super chat stuff. It's just, I don't know. I mean, obviously the goal as a YouTuber is to be able to do this for a living one day, be able to grow, be a fixture, stuff like that. But I'll try to do my best to integrate people because I understand, times are tough, times are hard. I like even the live streams, like I do these live streams for that reason, to be able to hang out with everyone, to be able to grow that community and that relationship, learn each other, figure each other out. You guys get like a real perspective of me rather than like the videos. Even if I'm doing videos with my face, you don't really get to pick up me. And I want to build that community. I want to build that connectability with all of you. And, I want to continue to incorporate ways. And, in the hour that we've been here, I could have posted 2 videos and made, $100 or whatever, but it's not about that. It's about like, I want to connect. I want to be able to do that stuff. Obviously, if super chats happen, which I've had live streams, people give super chats, I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I'm very humbled by it, but it's not something that like, I'm not doing this solely for that. But eventually, once you reach a point, what am I supposed to do? Tell everyone not to? No, I mean, it's just silly, but I appreciate you nonetheless. And I'll figure out ways to keep engaging and be able to keep everyone involved. Being suspended for 1 season is just like being fired, but the organization is just waiting for him to resign his post for them to accuse of firing him. It's possible. I mean, especially as like new things are starting to develop and you're getting more and more stuff. But yeah. What is this person talking about? Who's trying to censor you? Like, nobody's trying to censor you. And legitimate questions, facts are facts. What facts have you presented? You haven't said anything. I'm a big fan of Reddish, but he hasn't been good yet since before Duke. Yeah, I mean, I don't think all of that is his fault. I mean, he was drafted in Atlanta, immediately went like the veteran route. So like he went from being like the first or second option to like at his position to like the 4th or 5th option. So that was kind of his fault. And then he just got traded to a Knicks team that the coach just didn't want. Like Tibbs literally said, do not trade for Cam Reddish. They still traded for Cam Reddish, and Tibbs just won't play him. So it's just like, I don't really blame him. I just don't think he's worth the picks. Like, I just don't. My problem with Tony Snell is he might be the most inconsistent guy in the league. he's like has the record or is like second or something like that all time for like minutes played without a point, rebound, or assist. Like like that like he has moments where he's like or games where he's great. He'll give you like 12 points and go like 5 for 5 from the field. And then he'll have like 4 games where like he has like zeros across the board. Like it's just I don't know, he's too inconsistent and I don't think he'd make a real impact personally. At least I think so personally. Um what else? Appreciate you, Joey. Um I wouldn't say Russ been selfish his whole career. Look, the problem is just he's a bad fit. That's a good point too. Yeah, you don't average a triple double being selfish. It's not that he's a bad player. It's just he's a bad fit. Like he needs to be the guy. He needs to be in a very specific type of role with a very specific type of team, stuff like that. That's the only thing. It's not that he's a bad player. He's just a bad fit. What else? This ball never lies just keeps posting the same thing over and over again. You know how you always know somebody doesn't know sports is when somebody says people who know and understand sports. Like it's funny. Like it's always those people that leave like the most ridiculous comments that make no sense. It's always somebody that's like, if you knew it, like you're not saying anything. I'm done with this team for not signing Melo. I mean, they still could. Why do you write them off already? Like I said, I would love Melo to come back. I just think if you're going to do that, you might as well bring back Swider. Like I do. I think you might as well just bring back, or not bring back, but bring in Swider and give him a chance to see what he could do personally. Lakers will make a deadline splash. See, that's my concern is that I don't think they're going to do that, primarily because I just think either the Lakers are going to be good and you're not going to want to mess up chemistry, or the Lakers are going to be bad, and then at that point you might as well continue. It's just I just don't see them make, unless like there's just like a good deal on the table. Like say Gary Trent tells the Raptors like, "Hey, I'm leaving if you don't trade me," because he could be a free agent next season, and maybe something like that, or like Kyrie or something. I think that could happen. Evening, Tyler. Bogdanovich trade was so frustrating. I'm with you, Jedi. Jazz got Olynyk, a random guy, and no picks. Saban Lee is, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a random guy, but he's not a needle mover. He's just kind of like that throw-in piece. So I do understand what you mean there. But we had to give up 2 firsts for him. Let's just focus on next free agent. I'm with you, Jedi. I'm with you. 100%. 100%. No trade is better than a bad trade. I don't really care who starts, but what lineup finishes the game. I think it depends. I think it depends on who's performing that night, because it's gonna like the only way I see this team being like really good is if it's like by committee, so like if Walker is hot and knocking down threes and playing solid defense and creating shots and creating for others, and Westbrook is is playing his role and he's being effective and he's being within the offense. Like, I just think it depends on like who's working that night. I think that's who you end up closing the game with. Because everybody can kind of play some defense. Everybody can is kind of in the same realm offensively and shooting wise and stuff like that. I just think it depends on like what team are we playing? Matchups, of course. Because if like all of our guards are playing the best, then yeah, we're not going to close with that. But I'm saying like outside of LeBron Davis, I think it just depends on who's which players are performing the best. If it's Damian Jones's night, you let Damian Jones close. If you need Davis to close, you have Davis close. Whatever. I think it just depends on what it is. I also think they have a better chance if LeBron doesn't pad stats. I mean, I don't really think he was patting stats last year. I mean, the guy was shot a good percent from three. He was doing a little bit of everything. I don't think he's really to pat stats, but I kind of get what you're saying. As it stands, over Lakers Nation, a lot of people say that. I'm very humbled. I'm very thank you. Look, Trevor Lane, Lakers Nation is fantastic. You know, I'm the new kid on the block. You know, I got a lot to learn, a lot to grow. I got a lot to catch up on. So yeah, I mean, Lakers Nation is fantastic. You know, shout outs to them. I mean, they probably don't even know who I am nor care who I am, but I do. They're awesome. Everybody that's part of Lakers Nation, all of them, they're great people. I'm very thankful to even be in a conversation with them, to be somebody that can even be mentioned in the same thing. It's awesome for somebody that's just starting out. But look, I'm nowhere near Lakers Nation, not yet. We'll get there one day. One day. Thoughts on Schroeder or Beverly running point and Westbrook running the second unit? I mean, if they could do that, I wouldn't be against that. I think you gotta start Schroeder personally. If you were gonna go that route, because I think you need that traditional point guard, unless LeBron is willing to run point. But that's been the whole thing. Is like LeBron doesn't want to run point. That's why they got Schroeder to begin with, and that's why they got Westbrook and stuff like that, because LeBron doesn't want to run point guard. He wants to play more off the ball. Problem is, you won a championship with him as point guard, so it's like it's tough, But I don't know. I think that I think personally, I think if you were gonna choose, if LeBron runs point, you got to start Beverly, because I think he could kind of run off the ball. If you're running one of them as point, I think you got to go Schroeder. If the Lakers change Russ's game to being a screener, off-ball cutter, or a spot-up corner three shooter, why not trade him to the Spurs for Richardson McDermott? $21 million trade exception for one first. Let's say, because I mean the problem is that I don't think again, those guys don't really move the needle. Two, if I'm not mistaken, you can't get a trade exception if you have players included. I know that there's something about that, or it's like there's a cap or something. I don't know exactly what it is off the top of my head, but I know that there's something. That's some parameters around that, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if they get a $21 million trade exception. I think they do get something, but I don't think they get that full amount. I think it's like a percent. But again, it's just one, are the Spurs willing to do that? You know what I mean? You gotta keep that in mind too. Like, or do the Spurs like everyone else and they want two firsts? That's something you got to keep in mind. What I see is almost all teams want to fleece us. Absolutely. Let's just keep the pits and rebuild. Lee GM will not play forever. Yeah. I mean, look, if a good deal comes on down the line, then you take it. If it doesn't, then you don't. I think it just depends on what's out there. Can't save assets and be all in. Don't work like that. Two could be the same thing. I mean, what are you defining as all in? Like, because the Lakers are all in right now. They have their team. They're ready to go. They're all in on this team. Like, I don't know. I don't understand what you're trying to say. So what? They're supposed to just give their 2 first-round picks away to go do whatever, and now you're all in, and now you're terrible. Like, aren't you the same person that said, if you know basketball? See, I told you, it's always the person that's like, if you understand basketball, like, you're right. The Lakers should just trade both picks just to trade both picks so they can say they went all in. Come on, that's just goofy. Like, come on. You gotta think before you comment. If Lakers get in top 8 in defense, they'll be fine. Yeah, look, I think the Lakers have potential to be, top 10 to 5 defensive team. I really do. What else we got? Speaking of, we got let me get back up here. So back in the thing. Sorry, give me 1 second. Where did it go? I lost my place. Sorry. I'm trying to find where I was at. No. Where did it go? Sorry. Bear with me a second. I lost my place and I don't know where it's at. And yeah, I have. Oh, here it is. Found it. Boom. Okay, we're good. We're back. And speaking of back, we got a super chat. Thanks so much for $5 super chat, 7 Day Sports. I really appreciate you. If Lakers don't make a move and they struggle, Braun is back in Cleveland. Pelinka and Rambis are the reason this was a horrible offseason period. So look, I don't think LeBron is going back to Cleveland ever, unless it's like his final year and he wants to just retire a Cav and he just, decides to sign like max deal or whatever to just say he retired a Cav. I don't see it. One, Cleveland isn't going to trade for him. Two, I don't think Cleveland even wants him. The owner even said like they want to build an identity beyond LeBron James, and I think they have. I think that they're going to be very good for a very long time. I don't think LeBron goes anywhere. It's the same reason why I said LeBron was going to sign and the Lakers didn't have to worry about him leaving. He can't really go anywhere. And he didn't go to the Lakers solely for basketball reasons. He went to the Lakers so he could grow his, post NBA career, stuff like that. But I just look, I think it depends on what happens. Look, LeBron's always been a guy to honor his contracts. I think if he continues that route, then and the Lakers still suck next year, then I think he opts out and goes elsewhere. I think we got at least 2 more years of LeBron James. Not saying that we should we should just suck for 2 years, but the Lakers have a plan: trade Nunn and Westbrook. I mean, if they can, I don't see that happening. Question: can Anthony Davis be MVP this year? Can he? Yes. Will he? That's the question. I definitely think he's a guy that could really make some noise. I think he's a guy that could, if he could play at an MVP level, I think this team could be very good. I think a lot of this is going to ride on the shoulders of Anthony Davis. LeBron's going to be LeBron, but I think Anthony Davis is going to be a huge, huge factor for this team. That trade made no sense for Utah. I agree. Made 0 sense. They saved $5 million for what? Sign Carmelo Anthony. I'm not against it. Look, if they bring Carmelo back, I would not be upset at all. I just think if you're gonna go that route, you might as well just bring Swider in. He's younger, let him develop. He's got bigger size, but I'd rather give Swider minutes than Westbrook. Neither play defense, but at least Swider can shoot. Yeah, but Westbrook offers a lot. Like I said, it depends on how they use him. How do they capitalize on him? Stuff like that. I think it just depends. What else? Trying to find something for me. Russ will be like Wiggins when he moved into the third option, and you'll see your big three. I think Darvin Ham's going to be able to get an effective. If he can be effective, that's the key. Effective. If he can be effective, I think he can. We could have a legit big three. It's just, can Darvin Ham get him to be effective? Because there's a difference between, effective stats and effective play, and then just, put up 18, 7, and 7 like he did. As it stands, are you a fan of Dan, the Laker fan? He's recently started streaming with Lakers Nation. In my opinion, you are better than he is. Well, thank you so much. I am not familiar with Dan. I've heard of him, of course, since I've been in the Lakers space and the whole Lakers Nation. I didn't know I never even heard of him until Lakers Nation, if I'm being honest. I've checked out a couple things like briefly. I think he's fine. But I don't know enough of him to speak on him. I'm very thankful. I'm glad. I know he has a good following. He's got like 18,000 subscribers or something like that. But I just recently discovered Dan, the Laker fan. So I'm not familiar enough with him to say I'm a fan or not. I haven't seen enough of him to decide if I'm a fan or not. I like to give people, let me watch a couple things before I actually decide if I am or not. But yeah, let's get, as it stands, to a Is there more to that? Let's get as it stands to 1 million subscribers. I would absolutely love that. That would be wonderful. That's the goal, right? Get to 1 million subs. I would love it. I would. Hopefully one day. But hey, you guys could always share me, social medias, stuff like that. Get the word out. Tell a friend, tell a dog, tell mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, whoever. Go subscribe to As It Stands Lakers. I'd appreciate that, I would. We got Bron and AD. We're a move or two away from a chip, but you got to give up something. I agree. Don't get fleeced, but Rob got to be aggressive. Look, I mean, you can only be as aggressive as you can be. Like, you can't be aggressive to the point where you're sabotaging your team. Being aggressive is great, but you don't want to sabotage. It's better to be bad one year than it is to be bad several, is my thing. He had 3 years to make sure we weren't. He won a championship in those 3 years. And then on top of that, the following year, we probably would have been back if Anthony Davis didn't get hurt. The only bad year we've had is last year. Like, if Anthony Davis didn't get hurt, we probably were in the NBA Finals again, because we were up 2-1 against the Suns. They had no answer for Anthony Davis. It looked like we were going to go up 3-1, and then he ends up getting hurt, and that was it. Changed the tie. So if we don't lose Anthony Davis, it's very possible we went back to back. I actually think Ham has the perfect plan for Westbrook and it'll work out. I think so too. He seems very confident. Bench players are good enough to even make it on the Warriors team. We definitely not beating the Warriors this season. Sure. No trades is worth 2 first-round picks. Yeah, none of the trades are. I agree. Reeves and none for Cam Reddish. I wouldn't trade Reeves, and you don't need to. You could do none and picks. Keep Reeves. I would, though, and I'm sure many people wouldn't, but I would trade Reeves for Cam Reddish if we had to. Like, if we could, I would trade Reeves for Cam Reddish. Championship caliber organization don't operate like this. Can't throw your hands up again and be like, what was Rob supposed to do? Again, give me what you think should have happened. Because you're saying a lot of like, well, they should have done this and they should have done that, but you're not saying anything. He puts us in the mess. Now he has to get us out if he can't get someone who will. I mean, LeBron and Anthony Davis got Westbrook or wanted Westbrook. So you got to remember, Rob Pelinka had Buddy Hield trade lined up. The Kings were upset because they thought the deal was done. They thought it was over. They had a Buddy Hield trade done. And DeMar DeRozan himself said, I thought I was going to the Lakers. But Anthony Davis and LeBron James had a talk with Russell Westbrook and wanted them to go get Russell Westbrook. So, that's what happens. When your two superstars come to you and say, we want you to get this player, you do it. Especially LeBron being in what could have been a contract year, stuff like that, you do it. Actually, Miles Bridges is a clutch client. The Lakers might be waiting for him to be waived by the Hornets. If he is waived and settles his case, he'll be perfect wait for the Lakers. I think Miles Bridges is going to have a tough time getting back after what he did. But you never know. I mean, there have been people that have bounced back from stuff like that. I don't know if the Lakers are going to want to open up that can of worms. Start Mr. Zero Rings on the bench for the sake of our mental health. I'd like to trade Seth Curry and Jay Allen, but I haven't. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trades I'd like to do too. But yeah, I don't see that happen. Reeves and Nunn will be playing 10 minutes a game if lucky. Might as well trade them both. I mean, Nunn will be playing more than 10 minutes. Reeves, maybe. I could see that. all summer, see who blinks, and nothing has happened. Pelinka and the Rambus are the reasons why the Lakers haven't made a move. I think Jeannie needs to stop listening to Kurt Rambis too. But I mean, no team blinked, and neither did Rob. I don't blame. I'm glad Rob didn't. I'm glad he stuck to his guns and did what he did. Uh, everything. You haven't said anything. What is it? Tell me one thing you said that is a fact. What else? It's the ones that say you don't know basketball. It is. It's always the ones that are like, if you know basketball, you know that say nothing. They say literally nothing. Like this guy has said absolutely nothing. You know, he hasn't said anything. Like it's always I just like because I try to get to all the comments. I try to respond to all the comments, all that stuff. And I can't tell you how many comments I get of people that are like, if you know basketball or if you understand basketball, or if you this or that, and the other, and they always say nothing. They're always saying some like outlandish stuff that makes no sense that nobody understands. It's just funny. I'm telling you, keep an eye out on the comment sections of my videos. I'm telling you, you at least once a video, if not several, you'll see somebody that says if you know basketball or something along those lines, and then they say something stupid. That's just how it is. It depends on what the Spurs want. It does. It depends on what the Spurs want. Lakers' first two games are tough. So they are. I agree. I actually think the Lakers beat the Warriors. And I'm not saying it's because they're better. I'm not saying anything like that. But based on history, and you can look this up, teams that have their first home game and get their rings after winning a championship in all sports, not just basketball, but all sports, usually lose that game. It's like it has like an 85% win rate. Perfect example recently, the Rams. Rams got the ring ceremony, got the rings, all that stuff, and got smacked by the Bills. That's just for whatever you got the championship hangover. You get in the range, your emotions are high. The other team on the other side just wants to absolutely smack you. I think the Lakers, if the Lakers are going to win any of those two games, it's going to be the Warriors. Beat the Warriors. I think the Clippers game is the most important to win, though. Because I think if you lose to the Warriors, as long as you don't get blown out by 30, the narrative won't really be bad. It'll be like, yeah, they lost to they look good, but they lost to the defending champs, so it makes sense. They have work to do first game of the season. That'll likely be the narrative. But if they lose to the Clippers, that'll be a different narrative. Now, if they win both of those games, I'm telling you, you're going to see a huge shift in people's opinions and stuff like that. Ham will be switching players in and out to keep minutes down. That'll keep fresh and hopefully up the league speed. Yeah, I think so too. I think he plays a lot of. I think he like I was saying earlier. I don't know if you're here for that, but earlier I was saying like he's probably going to run 11, 12 players. You going to any Laker games this year? Maybe. I'd like to. I'd like to try to. Hopefully, if I do, I'll definitely have to live stream a game. I got Lonnie better than Reeves. I think he gets to start over Reeves too. We got. All right, what time is it? And on check the time. All right, we'll go. We're going to speed through a couple more questions, and then I'm going to get on out of here. I truly believe, first off, thank you, Arthur, for the $5 super chat. I truly believe Danny Ainge did the Detroit move out of spite. He didn't care for the offers he was getting, and he felt scorned. I truly do. I wouldn't be shocked if that's what he was doing too. I really wouldn't at all. The only person he hurt was his team and himself. Like it was stupid. This was a stupid move on his behalf. All you did was make your job harder, and all you did was you did nothing. You literally did nothing. You could have, even if you didn't trade with us, you could have gotten a better deal from. You're telling me that you couldn't have gotten a better deal from the Suns, even if you got a second round pick or something. This trade was absolutely atrocious. Like I don't understand it. I don't know why he had to have done it out of spite. Because anything would have been better than what he got, which was nothing. So I don't understand it either. I really don't. I'm with you. I'm with you, Arthur. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much for $5 super chat. And yes, follow Emily. Like, subscribe, and share. That's right. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, if you can, share the channel, share the videos, all of that stuff. I'd really appreciate it. Where were we? We were sorry, trying to find where I was at. Sorry, bear with me one second. Here we go. Found it. Boom. Lakers are definitely not tanking. Like button hit. Thank you so much. I appreciate you most. Thank you. You're awesome. I appreciate you. All legends won't win. They get beat by other legendary players. Facts. Very true. Can't win it. Can't win every year. Can't win them all. It happens. As great as they claim Westbrook is, he should have at least one championship under his belt. He's played with countless superstars, so I wonder what's the problem. Those triple doubles weren't enough. I mean, when he was getting triple doubles, he didn't have all those great players or great teams. I mean, should the Thunder have won a championship? Absolutely, but he wasn't alone in that. You know, Kevin Durant was on that team. The biggest mistake, they would have won if they didn't just be cheap and let James Harden go. They would have won a championship, if not several. So that might be one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history, is if James Harden would have stayed. But they didn't want to pay him the money, and they end up letting him go and trading him. But that's a big thing. And then outside of that, after Kevin Durant left, he didn't have a team that was good enough to compete, even with triple doubles. And Houston was always questionable, him and James Harden. And then the Wizards, that team was terrible, and him and Bradley Beal, with like a bunch of people you can't even name, took them to the playoffs. So I mean, it's just circumstances and stuff, What else? I was born in 1980. I've been a Bears fan and Laker fan all my life. So if someone ever tells me I don't know sports, there's something else. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I mean, look, it's like I said, it's always the person that's like that leaves that comment. If you don't know sports, like it's always them that are saying nothing. A Bears and a Lakers fan, I'm halfway. Your enemy, the Bulls. Facts. Yeah, definitely, Chai. All right, let's power through. Let's get a couple more questions, and we're gonna skate out of here. We've been going strong for a while. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We're at 40-20. We're at 40-28. Can we get? I'm sure there's 2 of you that aren't subscribed. Let's get to 40-30. I'd like to get to 40-50 still. So hit that subscribe button. Don't trust somebody else to do it. I want you to do it. I'm talking to you. Hit that subscribe button. And yeah. Do you think all these players on one-year deals will be an issue? They are all playing next year's contracts, so they might be selfish. No, because they're all role players. None of these guys are getting $30 million a year contracts. I don't think that'll be a problem at all. And I think a lot of these guys are going to want to fit into the systems and stuff to be able to show like, hey, we're this, So no, I don't really think it's going to be an issue. If it is, I imagine Darvin Ham just won't play those people, and I'm sure that they know that. So I don't think it'll be a problem. I think it'll be okay. Even if Spurs trade gives you 3 players who are solid and help balance out the size issues. If Lakers try to play JTA at power forward, Walker or Reeves at small forward, 3 Brown problem returns. Yeah, I mean, it just like I said, I'm not against trade. It just depends on what is involved, what it entails, things like that. I 100%. I agree 100%. Some or most of the fans complained a lot, but never suggest anything that will improve the team. Yeah, that's the thing. Like everyone's got an opinion, but no one has anything to say about how to fix it. You don't pass up on trades to help you win now for picks 5 or 6 years down the road. You don't lowball great coaches and the list goes on. Is that specific enough for you? That's all. That's what I mean by all in. First off, what do you mean by win now? Which trade would have been win now according to you? There's not a single trade out there other than maybe the Kyrie trade that is a win now trade. It's not, again, it's not about the picks. It's not about, like, if the Lakers had a trade that was good and worth the picks, they would have done it, or even just like borderline made us a contender. Even if it didn't like make us a bona fide contender, if it just got us close to being a legit contender, they would have made the trade. There isn't a deal out there that's win now. That's what you're not comprehending. And then also, what do you mean low ball great coaches? What is that? Where did that come from? Are you talking about Frank Vogel? What did Frank Vogel do? Jason Kidd was the coach of the championship team. He was the player coach. He was the guy. That's the reason they went and got him. It's not a coincidence that when Jason Kidd left, this team fell apart and Frank Vogel lost the locker room and everything. Frank Vogel was the voice for the media and the face for the media. That's all he was. That's it. That's all he was. Jason Kidd was the guy. We just need Owen if they do not trade Westbrook. Problem is there aren't really any out there. That's the problem. What else? Cotton Weary cosplaying SOB. That was a good one. If this year is a failure, do you think Rob is gone? I don't think so. I think they'll try to give him a chance with the cap space and better free agents next offseason. This season, this was one of the worst free agencies in a long time. So I don't think they'll hold that against him this year. I think it'll depend on what ends up happening the following year. Is he able to get a guy that really changes the tide, moves the needle, stuff like that? That's what I think will end up happening. Is Westbrook a top 75 player in your opinion? Yeah, definitely think he is. I think Westbrook is an absolute solid. I think he still is. I just think he's in a really bad fit. People forget the year prior, he was a 22-point a game triple-double guy and helped lead the Wizards to a playoffs. Like, I just, he's still a great player. He just is a very specific type of player. So it makes it challenging, to say the least. What do you think if the Lakers were willing to give a second-year contract, would have signed with the Lakers for $6.4 million, signed with 2 years, 12? I don't think so, because Porter went to Toronto because of his wife. Like, he released a whole statement about it. His wife is from there. She wanted to go back home, stuff like that. So he chose Toronto. He could have gotten more money elsewhere. I believe he even talks about that in the thing. He says, I got bigger offers. I just went to Toronto because of my wife. So I think the Lakers would have had to pay way more. I am not worried if we start to see with Westbrook. He's going to be better than last season. I agree. I'm fine with what we got. Spurs want to trade Portal, Richardson and McDermott for Westbrook as far as picks they want in return. I'm not sure. That's the thing. I think it depends on what the picks are. Again, if they want both firsts, it's not worth it. If they do one first, maybe. But if they're holding tight on 2 firsts, yeah, you're not doing it. I think we win both games. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we did. I really wouldn't. Lakers falling apart in 4K. I don't know about that. Oh no. What happened? There we go. What's going on, Diesel? Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. What do you see? Oh, I already got that right. Ainge did the same thing to the Knicks, the Cleveland. Yeah, he could have gotten a better deal. Chose to do it. He just gets caught in his feelings and makes silly deals. Turner and Hield, a better fit than Kyrie, in my opinion, and worth both picks. Can't say Bus and Plinka doing all they can to make a contender if they won't use those picks. Offers on the table. I look, Kyrie, the impact that Kyrie has and what he offers, Hield and Turner together don't. Kyrie would be a great fit because he's a guy that can shoot, play on the ball, play off the ball. Him and LeBron have already proven they can win a championship together. But the impact, Kyrie Irving's a guy that can completely take over a game. He's a guy that can single-handedly get you wins. Turner and Buddy Hield aren't going to do that. Turner averages 12 points and 7 rebounds as a center. Like, he's not like if LeBron James and Anthony Davis aren't playing, Buddy Hield and Miles Turner are not winning you those games. Kyrie can. He's even proved it with the Nets. That's the difference. Your Kyrie is a tide changer, where Hield and Turner are just they just make the wake a little bigger, I guess, to keep that analogy. Russ ain't even the problem. It ain't even the only problem. He's not the only problem. Why not put shooting around him, make the situation better? The problem is, who was out there? That was the thing. There weren't. What's going on, Elder? Appreciate you. Salute, Elder. Thank you so much. Deal was good for Utah. They wanted Lee back. They like him, and save money was big for them. They hard capped. Yeah, no, look, they got $5 million. I don't think it was a good deal for. They could have saved the same amount of money, unless they really liked Lee that much, which I don't know why you still, unless you can move off of Conley and Clarkson. I don't know why I blanked on that. Because Lee, he's undersized. He's still young. He's 23, 24, something like that. He's undersized, though. He's a great defensive guy for his size, but he's still a bit of an anomaly, and he's not that young. And you gave up your best asset for that. If they would have traded like Clarkson for that, I would have been like, boom, home run. But they traded, you traded if you were ever going to get a pick, if you were ever going to get assets in return, you traded the one guy that were those assets is my problem. Russ had Paul George with the yeah, but that outside of Paul George and Russ, that team was very questionable. Very questionable. They had your shooting guard couldn't even shoot. You basically had Russ and Paul George, which the two of them were pretty solid together. And then they went and got Melo and that whole thing, which was a mess. Now that Utah is under the hard cap threshold, they have zero pressure to trade guys now. Yeah. Problem is, you're not going to get anything now. At least I don't think so. Maybe they do. What else? The East was weak AF when Westbrook took a 35-win team to Washington. Yeah, but he still did it, is my point. He did his job. He took that team was a team that wasn't supposed to make the playoffs, even in a weak West, and he still did it. And with Bradley Beal missing he missed 35 games that year, 36 games that year, all that stuff. There's a lot that went into that. All Rob has to do is sign some shooters since they're keeping rest. But who are the shooters? That's my thing. That's what I'm saying. Who are the shooters? Dude, hey, I give the Pistons credit. They got a real steal. They came up big. What else? Pat Bev is the player the Lakers needed, hands down. Best point guard defender in the league, in my opinion. He is number 2 in the entire league behind Giannis as the best defender as the closest defensive target. So that means not necessarily the guy here. I'm saying say a guy gets the ball over here and you're the closest. He is next to Giannis, second best in the league on that closeout and preventing a basket. He's huge. You know who's number 4 on that list? Anthony Davis. So we have 2 of the top 5 guys in the entire league. We have the number 2 and number 4 guys for defense, closeout defense, stuff like that. So that's huge. But Russ would have thrived under Kidd. I think Kidd would have made Russ work. But anyway, I'm going to skate on out of here. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me, being a part of this, all of that stuff. Subscribe to the channel. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel. We did get to 40-30. I appreciate that. And don't forget to like this video still. Also, in the description, go check out the links. I'm starting a Laker podcast with a buddy of mine. This Monday will be the first episode over on the AIS, the Lakers show. Link in the description. I would really appreciate y'all if you'd go and subscribe to that. Again, link in the description. Subscribe to As It Stands, just As It Stands. And then, of course, this channel, links to everything are in the description. Again, thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for being part of this live stream. Thank you so much for 4K. This is amazing. I hit 4K in just 2 months. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. You guys are all awesome. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.